Thank you very much for your participation for Indo-Japan Investment Symposium, Investment Opportunities in the State of Punjab today. We will start the inaugural session now. First, His Excellency, Mr. Sanjay Kumar Varma, Ambassador of India to Japan, will give opening remarks.
Thank you very much for introducing me. Honorable Chief Minister of Punjab, Captain Amarinder Singh, Ms. Vinnie Mahajan, Chief Secretary, Government of Punjab, Mr. Nakazo, Executive Vice President, JETRO, Mr. Osamu Onodera, Deputy Director General of MITI, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, my apologies for starting the program late. There was some technical issues which I couldn't resolve, so I had to rush to another room. Thank you for your patience. It gives me immense pleasure to deliver the opening remarks at the Indo-Japan Investment Symposium, Investment Opportunities in the State of Punjab. For those who are not initiated on Punjab, I'll say the following. Punjab is a state in northwest region of India and is one of the most prosperous states in India. Agriculture has been the mainstay of Punjab's economy. Other major industries include manufacturing of scientific instruments, electrical goods, financial services, machine tools, textiles, sewing machines, etc. Punjab is considered to have one of the best infrastructure in India. This includes road, rail, air and river transport links that are extensive throughout the region. With regard to presence of international investment in Punjab, it may be mentioned that Punjab has presence of more than 100 Japanese companies and business establishments. Punjab is also one of the preferred investment destination for international companies looking to launch in India or exploring options to expand their footprints in country. Within the last 4 years, the state has received investment from various countries, including Japan. Economic relations between India and Japan have vast potential for growth, given the obvious complementarities that exist between the two Asian economies. Japan's interest in India is increasing due to a variety of reasons, including the convergence on geostrategic matters. The signing of historic India-Japan Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement and its implementation from August 2011 was a significant step to improving the economic and commercial relations between our two countries. Japan bilateral trade with India totaled to $16.95 billion during the financial year 2019-20. Exports from Japan to India during this period was $12.43 billion and imports were $5.42 billion. Japan's exports to India were 2.62% of India's total imports, and India's exports to Japan were 1.44% of India's total exports. This underlines the immense potential which exists between our two countries as far as the bilateral trade is concerned. India has been ranked as one of the most attractive investment destinations in recent years' survey of Japanese manufacturing companies, conducted by the Japan Bank of International Cooperation, which is also known as JBIC. In financial year 2017 survey, it ranked at the second place. Japanese foreign direct investment in India has increased in recent years, but it still remains small compared to Japan's total outward foreign direct investment. The amount of FDI for the financial year 2019-20 reached 3.226 billion. Cumulative since the year 2000 till December year 2022, the investment to India have been around $34.526 billion, which makes Japan ranking 5th amongst the major investors. Japanese foreign direct investment into India has mainly been in automotive, electrical equipment, telecommunications, chemical, financial sectors, and pharmaceutical. As most of you would be aware that Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget in 2021-22 in the Parliament on February 1, 2021, in the backdrop of the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic, which has sent the world in crisis. The budget reflected the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, or self-reliant India, laid down by the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, and resolved to strengthen government's measures relating to doubling of farmers' income, infrastructure development, healthy India, good governance, and inclusive development. For the industries or the investors, one of the highlights of the budget was announcement of production-linked incentives. This scheme is valid for 13 sectors to create manufacturing global champions for an Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliant India. These 13 sectors include mobile manufacturing and specified electronic components, critical key starting minerals and materials, drug intermediaries and active pharmaceutical ingredients, manufacturing of medical devices, automobiles and auto components, pharmaceuticals, drugs, specialty steel, telecom and network products, electronic technology products, white goods, including air conditioners and LEDs, food products, textile products, MMF segment, and technical textiles, high efficiency solar PV modules, and advanced chemistry cell battery. If you see this list, you can find many synergies which could be possible with the Japanese counterparts. I wish to thank METI, JETRO, Invest India, and other Japanese participants for their active participation and support for the event. I would like to compliment the State Government of Punjab for organizing this event during the present difficult times because of COVID-19 pandemic all over the world, but especially in India as well. I wish all the participating companies great success in their endeavor to expand India's footprint in Japanese market and in establish a lasting relationship with the Japanese companies. Similarly, I also wish the Japanese companies could take this opportunity to expand their footprint in India, their synergy with India, and create a mutually win-win platform for both of us. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Arigatou gozaimasu. Namaskar.
Thank you, Ambassador sir. 先ほどは技術的な問題で開始が遅れましてお詫び申し上げます。続きまして、経済産業省通商政策局通商交渉官小野寺治様より特別講演をいただきます。小野寺交渉官、よろしくお願いいたします。
こんにちは。ナマステ、サツリアカール。本日は、ただいま紹介に預かりました、経済産業省の小野寺と申します。本日はワルマ大使、パンジャブ州新首相、マハジャン首席事務官はじめとして皆様、本日はインド、ジャパン、Investment Symposium, Investment Opportunities in the State of Punjab にご招待いただきましてありがとうございます。まず開催に向けて準備いただいたインド政府並びにインベストパンジャブの皆様に感謝を申し上げます。日本とインドはこれまで民主主義という共通の価値観、加えて首脳間の相互往来をはじめとした強い信頼関係、そして日印包括的経済連携パートナーシップの下、さまざまな分野で良好な協力関係を構築してきました。インドは約13億人の人口を抱え、高い経済成長ポテンシャルを秘めた国であり、多くの日本企業はインドの大きな市場に着目してきました。これに加えて、近年は輸出拠点としてのインドも脚光を浴びつつあります。インドに進出した日本企業は今や約1400社に上り、雇用創出、人材育成、サプライチェーンの構築、輸出促進に幅広く貢献しています。以上を踏まえまして、私からは日印間の産業分野の連携について少しお話をさせていただきます。一昨年12月に梶山経済産業大臣がインドを訪問した際、ゴヤル商工大臣との間で日印産業競争力パートナーシップを立ち上げました。日印政府は同パートナーシップの下、インドの産業競争力を強化することを目的として、日本の、投資企業のビジネス環境整備などさまざまな課題に協力して取り組んでいます。例えば、進出日系企業の関心が高い物流分野につきましては、物流ワーキンググループというグループを立ち上げ、インド政府も目指す物流コスト削減及び物流の質の向上に向けて物流現場の人材育成の支援などを行ったり、 物流インフラのどこを改善すべきか意見交換をしております。また、半導体分野などでは文字通りのゼロ排水規制が厳しすぎるため、投資を検討しにくいという声がありました。この会議で取り上げた結果、ゼロ排水規制が電子関係の工業団地では適用されない、つまり新規投資の障害にならないことをインド当局と確認をすることができました。このように、分野別の課題や個社の抱える課題を一つ一つ解決を図っております。先月3月17日、日印産業共生パートナーシップの一環として、産官学による India's Potential in the Global Economy というシンポジウムを開催いたしました。登壇者からはインドの国内市場の大きさ、人材、とりわけ IT 人材の豊富さ、そしてグローバルサプライチェーンの中の輸出拠点としてのポテンシャルに言及されていました。他方、それを現実のものとしていく上では、ここ数十年のインドにおける自動車および自動車部品産業の発展を一つのモデルとして、開かれた貿易環境の下で輸入部品や部材も効果的に活用して国際競争力を育んでいくことが大事、そういったコメントもございました。ご出席されていたモハパトラ商工次官からは、ビジネス環境について問題があれば相談してほしいという力強いコメントもいただきました。近々第3回の次官級会合を開催する予定としておりまして、インドの産業競争力を強化することを目的として、インド当局とともにビジネス環境整備など、さまざまな課題に協力して取り組んでまいります。さて、インド政府としましては、セルフリライアント、先ほど話がありましたように、大使から、セルフリライアントインディアを実現し、グローバルサプライチェーンにおいてより大きな役割を担うべく、投資誘致に力を入れているところであります。具体的には昨年、生産量連動型補助制度、プロダクションリンクティンセンティブスキームという国内で製造された製品の売上高増加額に対する補助金スキームが拡充され、分野ごとに催促が出されつつあります。インドに進出する日本企業も対象になると聞いておりますので、ご関心のある企業はお問い合わせください。我が国政府としてもインドを重要なパートナーとして捉え、インドに投資をしたいと考えている日本企業、ジェトロと協力しつつ支えております。例えば、インド側の投資誘致機関、インベストインディアには、日系企業専用のインドへの投資専用窓口であるジャパンプラスが設置されていますが、日本政府の職員を派遣し、日本企業が相談をしやすい環境を作っております。さて、本日のシンポジウムの主題のパンジャブ州の方に目を転じますと、パンジャブ州はインドの穀物層として名高いそうです。確かに私も昔高校時代にですね、パンジャブ州といえば農業というふうに聞いた覚えがございます。しかし、実は農業だけではなく、トラクター、自転車、繊維など工業製品分野の産地としても、今や有名だそうです。本日、登壇予定のいすゞヤンマーなどをはじめとして100にも上る、日本企業もトラックやバスなどの商用車、トラクター、食品包装に使う機能性フィルムや自動車用鉄鋼など幅広い分野ですでに進出しています。先月3月12日、インド州政府主催のセミナーを傍聴させていただきました。その際もインベストパンジャブからは、パンジャブ州の労働環境や産業別での強みについてプレゼンいただき、日本企業誘致に向けた強い熱意を感じました。本日も皆様の投資の参考となる情報がいろいろと伺えるのではないかと期待しております。最後にせっかくの機会ですので、もう一つインド政府と共同して進めている取り組みを紹介させていただきます。コロナ危機を受けて生産拠点の集中度が高い状態を改善し、サプライチェーンを強靭化することが世界中で重要というふうに言われております。昨年9月、日本、インド、オーストラリアの3カ国の経済大臣会合において、インド太平洋地域のサプライチェーン強靭化に向けた協力について議論を行い、現在、インド豪州とともにサプライチェーン強靭化イニシアティブ、サプライチェーンレジリエンスイニシアティブの立ち上げに向けて準備しているところであります。すでに産官学で集まり、サプライチェーン強靭化に向けた実質的な議論も開始しております。日本のイニシアティブで今月3月11日と12日、サプライチェーン強靭化フォーラムを開催し、日豪印、そして ASEAN の産官学で地域内での官民連携の具体化に向けた議論をキックオフいたしました。ここにはインドの産官学も多数出席し、実質的な議論が始まっています。日本とインドが一緒になって、これまでの2国間協力より、より広域なアジア地域のサプライチェーンの強靭化に向けて、共にリーダーシップを発揮していきたいというふうに考えております。これまで申し上げましたとおり、日印は良好な関係のもと、多くの分野で協力を推進してきました。しかし、日印連携の可能性には、まだまだ発展の余地がある。それは先ほどバルマ大使がおっしゃった通りだと思います。経済産業省といたしましても、インド政府とさらに個別のインドの州政府、パンジャブ州などとウィンウィンの関係を構築すべく取り組んでまいります。 今回のセミナーをきっかけとして、日本とパンジャブ州、そして日本とインドの関係が一層深まるものと確信しております。本日お集まりの皆様方の今後の繁栄とますますのご発展を記念いたしまして、私の挨拶とさせていただきます。ありがとうございました。
小野寺様、ありがとうございました。Next, I would like to request Ms. Vini Mahajan, Chief Secretary, Government of Punjab, to give a remark on Punjab industrial landscape.
Konnichiwa, good afternoon to friends from Punjab, Excellency Sanjay Kumar Varma, Kazuya Nakajo-san, Executive Vice President of JETRO, Osamu Onodera-san, Deputy Director General, MITI, Honorable Chief Minister, and friends from the state government, as well as from Japan. India and Japan have historically had excellent relations based on mutual trust and respect. Indians have always valued Japanese industrial products as being of excellent quality. We have admired the processes that are followed in Japanese industry, management practices, employment practices, and we have always welcomed the Japanese investors and businesses into our country. Within India, Punjab is a region of very dynamic entrepreneurial people with excellent infrastructure, with excellent labor relations, and with all those advantages that an investor into the country would look for. We have great logistics, even though we are far from the ports. And we are proud that we have been the recipient of Japanese investors over the years. And we are delighted that they have had a good experience. SML Isuzu, Kansai Nerolac, Yanmar, Topan, and we are delighted also that their excellent experience has perhaps encouraged other Punjab and Japanese companies to look for collaborations which are happening regularly and at speed. We are also exporting substantially to Japan. The state government is conscious of the fact that an investor has many opportunities, and many states in India are vying for receiving Japanese investment, which is highly prized, highly valued for the quality and the benefits that it brings to the states. We believe that we have an excellent environment, and that environment is highly conducive to overseas investments. But in order to further incentivize new industry, the state government has put in place a financial package that includes affordable and quality electricity supply to industry, affordable employment through employment subsidies, tax benefits, and other benefits that would make investments into the state highly attractive. We believe that apart from the fiscal incentives, it is also important to ensure that a potential investor is handheld and supported in the process of entering a state. Our investment promotion agency, Invest Punjab, is determined to roll out the red carpet for all Japanese investors considering the state of Punjab as a possible destination. We are very pleased that this agency is rated as the very best amongst all Indian state promotion agencies. We've also looked very carefully at any other impediments, any regulatory burden that can be reduced. We have worked with industry and with thought leaders to explore opportunities for reducing compliance burden across the board, to encourage MSMEs and other industrial units. We have a Right to Business Act that provides for setting up of new MSME units on the strength of self-certifications. We have eased the regulatory burdens of various kinds by enlarging the scope of self-certification, deemed approvals, time-bound clearances, and we believe, and many others also now believe, that Punjab is well on its way to becoming a lighthouse state for ease of doing business and for supporting business activities. Amongst the things that we discussed with the Japanese leadership from time to time, including during visits of His Excellency, the Japanese ambassador to India, to Punjab in the past, there were concerns about availability of adequate land parcels when we discussed the options of Japanese township, industrial and residential townships. I am pleased to inform that the state government responded very aggressively to that suggestion, and today we already have aggregated 3 pockets of land at very attractive locations, each of 1,000 acres plus, and we would welcome Japanese government and corporate leadership to consider any of these for a possible Japanese township. Ladies and gentlemen, we had been very actively looking at leading a delegation to Japan. The Chief Minister was to personally lead this delegation when COVID intervened and changed the world. But just as the state government ensured through strict but industry-friendly actions that we brought the COVID situation under control at all times, the state of Punjab has consistently been amongst the lowest COVID-affected states in the country, ranking at about number 17 amongst all major states in the number of cases that we saw. Even in the current surge, we have kept the situation under control. In a similar manner, we are confident that we will pull out the stops for industry and for investors, including and especially from Japan. The present government put in place policies and mechanisms that ensured that we have already received investments of over 1.2 trillion yen. These investments are either already in commercial phase or at a very advanced stage. We welcome, we invite you, we look forward to each one of you for considering the state of Punjab as a possible investment destination. And on behalf of all the government, state government agencies, departments, and in particular Invest Punjab, I assure you that you will never regret that decision and that your presence here will be a win-win for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam. 続きまして、日本貿易振興機構ジェトロ理事中条和也様より特別講演をいただきます。 中条理事、よろしくお願いいたします。
はい、中条です。皆さん、こんにちは。ジェトロの中条でございます。本日はこのような素晴らしいイベントでお話しさせていただく機会をいただきまして、大変嬉しく思っております。また、コロナの状況であってもですね、日本の企業様に対して、最新の情報を提供しようとする、主催者のインド大使館、バルマ大使、それから新首相、パンジャブ州政府、インベストパンジャブの皆様の真摯な姿勢に、まずは敬意を表したいと思います。本日お集まりの日本企業の皆様にはですね、パンジャブ州といってもあまりイメージがない方々も多いかもしれません。この後、今もチーフセクレタリーからもお話がございましたし、この後のご講演でもですね、お話あると思いますけれども、パンジャブ州はですね、日本企業にとっての投資先として検討されうる、土地、立地になりつつあるということは、私は考えております。人口は2800万人、インドの穀倉地帯でございまして、インド最大の麦、それから米の生産州であります。こうしたもの、また工業も歴史的に発達しておりましてですね、インドで最も所得水準が高い北インドの一つの州であるということで、市場としての価値が高いということがまず挙げられます。工業立地について言えばですね、労働力の質が高いであるとか、賃金水準が低いであるとか、あるいは労働組合、労働問題がですね、の問題がレポートされてないところ、州としては魅力として挙げられています。電力の余剰州でございますので、電力のコストが他の州に比べて低いということも利点になっております。コズモについても、デリに隣接しているということもございますけれども、州内に2つの国際空港、それからその他にも国内の空港がございますし、道路や鉄道のデンシティも高い箇所でございます。2019年の統計でございますけれども、ロジスティックイーズ、要は物流や交通インフラの整備度のランキングを週ごとにランキングしてるんですけれども、ここではグジャラートに続いてですね、第2位になっておりますし、貨物のそのセーフティ安全性とか安定性の指標で限ればですね、インド1という格好になっているわけであります。このように非常に豊かで、かつ諸条件が整っているようなパンジャブ州でございますけれども、日本企業のですね、進出はこれまでまだまだ少ない状況であります。これはデリーの西側、西高にですね、多く立地する日本企業から見ると、物流網のアクセス面で今まで課題があったということだというふうに私は認識しております。他に、ごめんなさい、他にも課題はあるかと思いますけれども、そこについては、また今後のいろんな調査等々でですね、ご説明をしていきたいと思います。今日はここでこのぐらいにしておきますけれども、日本大使館とですね、インドの日本大使館とジェトロの共同調査によりますと、今、パンジャブ州にはですね、4社ほどの進出にとどまっている状況でございます。で、この状況が変わりうる、一つの要因としてはですね、デイリーを含む環状道路、KMP と呼んでますけれども、これの開通によってですね、先ほど申し上げた日系企業の集積があるデリー西港とですね、西の郊外とパンジャブ州とのコネクティビティが格段に良くなっているということであります。今後ですね、これは計画であるんですけれども、北インドデリーとですね、東を結ぶ貨物専用鉄道、 DFC と呼んでますけれども、これの東回廊が完成したりですね、それから今これも整備中でございますけれども、ガンジス川を使うその航路ですね、船の航路、こういったものが整備されることによってですね、整備されればですけれども、ここはパンジャブ州が製造と物流の戦略的な拠点になるということが期待されているところであります。今、日本からインドに行く荷物の9割はですね、ムンバイに集中している状況でございます。ムンバイ、要はムンバイはインドの西側にあるわけですけれども、インドの南側をぐるっと回って、あるいはスリランカを経由してムンバイに荷物が上がっているわけであります。東に抜けるインドの、東海岸に抜ける交通量が整備されればですね、デリー近郊からインド全土への物流を容易にしますし、さらに言えばバングラデシュなどやですね、ASEAN の国々、こうしたインドを越えてより遠方のですね、海外の市場に接続をしていく、こういった可能性を秘めておりまして、このですね、ターミナル、この起点をですね、パンジャムが担うことになります。こうしたことが起こればですね、日本企業がパンジャブ州に今後進出する後押しになるのではないかというふうに考えられております。一方ですね、まだまだ日本企業の集積、先ほど申し上げた通り、集積が進んでないという状況の中でですね、これからビジネス環境の改善等々ですね、おそらくその解決すべき課題が出てくるんだと思います。私どもジェトロとしてはですね、微力ながらこうした分野において、皆様の支援をさせていただきます、お手伝いをさせていくことをこの場で申し上げたいと思います。ニューデリーからですね、パンジャブ州の境までは、車で高速使えば2、3時間であります。私どものニューデリーの事務所がですね、パンジャブの立地をお考えの企業様がございましたら、ぜひぜひお手伝いをさせていただければと思っております。最後になりますけれども、日本企業のインドビジネスの多様化に合わせるべくですね、ジェトロも支援領域を多様化しております。一つは、海外スタートアップの企業、インドのスタートアップの企業と日本企業との連携、協業、いわゆるオープンイノベーションに焦点を当てた企業のマッチング支援を行っております。2つ目は、日本の企業様によるですね、インドの高度人材を活用するためのさまざまな活動を行っております。3つ目はですね、日印の二国間協力を通じて、第三国市場、こういったところに展開するなどですね、両国のサプライチェーンを拡大し、連結する、こういったことを行っております。さまざまな面で私どももサービスを拡大しておりますので、ぜひぜひ皆様のご活用をいただければと思います。引き続き、インド大使館、パンジャブ州政府とも協力してですね、皆様のインドビジネスをサポートしていきたいと考えております。本日のセミナーがご参加いただいている皆様のビジネスの助けとなりですね、日本とインドとの経済関係がさらなる発展につながることを記念いたしまして、私の挨拶とさせていただきます。本日はどうもありがとうございました。
中条理事、ありがとうございました。Next, I would like to request Honorable Chief Minister of Punjab, Captain Amarinder Singh, to give a presidential address.
Good morning to you all. Konnichiwa and Sat Sri Akal, which is our greetings. Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Osamu Onodera, Mr. Kazuya Nakojo, Mrs. Mona Khandar, and all participants in this morning's meeting today. My good wishes to you all. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope we shall, by the time that we are over, be able to convince you that this Punjab of ours is a great destination for all of you to be part of, to be here with us. And we wish, as our Chief Secretary has already mentioned to you in great detail, and you yourself, your own spokespeople, have mentioned a great deal about how Punjab is developing. We wish to one day see a little Japan in our Punjab. That is what we were always looking forward to. You have a great reputation, and our companies are all of ours. Wherever I meet them, they are in contact with all of you. So I thought that we should come and see you last year. But unfortunately, COVID kept us back last year and it's kept us back this year. I would have loved to have been with you in person to come and talk to you there. It's always better face to face rather than this, but I suppose this is better than nothing. As I said, I'm very happy to be with you today and to look at the possibilities of Japanese investments in the state of Punjab. The IMF expects the emerging and developing Asia region to grow by 8.6% in 2021 with the right policies and international support. Asia's engines can work together again and power the region ahead, especially by opening avenues and opportunities for SMEs to participate more actively in local and global supply chains. Punjab is viewing the changing global order and shifting sectoral trends as opportunities. The state is expanding its global footprint to ensure that enterprises in Punjab become an essential part of the global value chain. I am happy to note that India and Japan have strong diplomatic, economic, and cultural ties under the rubric of special strategic and global partnership. Under the joint statement, Japan and India at Vision 2025, special strategy and global partnership working together for peace and prosperity of the Indo-Pacific region and the world. The two countries have ushered a new era in Japan-India relations. Japan is the fifth largest investor in the Indian economy. Over 1,000 Japanese companies are currently operating in India, such as Suzuki, Canon, Mitsubishi, Toyota, Sumitomo, etc. In the year 2019-20, exports from India to Japan were about 496 billion yens, while imports amounted to about 1.3 billion yens. India's primary exports to Japan have been textile, auto components, petroleum products, chemicals, iron and steel, etc. India's imports from Japan include machine tools, electronic goods, industrial machinery, plastic, chemicals, iron and steel, etc. also. Punjab, ladies and gentlemen, has been regarded as the granary of India with a strong agriculture base. However, it is also home to a vibrant industrial sector which is essentially SMEs-based. Many players in Punjab have entered into different forms of collaboration such as manufacturing, technology tie-ups, and financial assistance with Japanese enterprise to enter new markets, upgrade technology, and launch new lines of products. Punjab has, at present, about 100 plus Japanese establishments, including companies such as Aichi Steel Corporation, which has acquired a stake in one of our companies, MSL Isuzu Limited, in which also a stake is there, and Isuzu Motors holds also a stake with us, which is India's leading heavy commercial vehicle manufacturer. Messrs. Topan Printing also has a stake with us. So there are a large number of companies which are involved with us already. Messrs. Yanmar Company Limited, Mr. Kansal Nerolac Paints Limited. So I can go on and on. It's about 100 companies who have stakes with us already in our state. Companies in Punjab also possess numerous technology transfers with Japanese firms. For example, Messrs. New Swan Technologies, a leading Punjab-based auto component manufacturer, has entered into technology collaboration with Gunma, Seco, and Koyo Ceilings for automotive and general industry. Now, why Punjab? Punjab, I think our ambassador has already mentioned, and so has our chief secretary, and so have your spokesman, that with just 1.5% of India's land area, Punjab contributes 3% to India's GDP. And that is our own achievement, despite the fact that we have always been known as an agriculture state. As I mentioned earlier, we are the ones who feed the country. We are the granary of India. We contribute the maximum food to India. We may be 1.5%, but the national food reserves have over 30% of Indian Punjabi food, rice and wheat in it. So we have always been that way. But industry has now taken off in Punjab, and industry is now what we are looking at. Major sectors for Punjab include agriculture and food processing, textiles, IT and ITEs, tractor manufacturing, bicycle manufacturing, and other such industry. The state lies in close proximity to the national capital, around 250 kilometers, and has access to markets of Central Asian and CIS countries. Punjab is ranked second in ease of logistics in the country consecutively since 2018. The state will be connected to both the eastern and western freight corridors and has a strong logistic backbone with 5 Indian container depots. State is home to multimodal logistic parks developed by corporates such as Hind Terminal, the Sharaf Group of UAE, PLIL. The state is home to 2 international airports so far, and our third international, this is in Mohali, which is in Chandigarh here, and the other one is in Amritsar. And hopefully by early next year, we shall have the third one at Ludhiana, at Halwara. We have in addition, we have 4 domestic airports and a new international airport, which I've already mentioned, which will further boost international connectivity to major industrial hubs of Punjab. State offers a robust connectivity to all parts of India. Punjab is among the best states in terms of road and railway network in India. Key highlights are as follows. Second highest rail density in the country. Road density is 2 times of national average. State has 100% road connectivity. I would like to mention here that one of the speakers today mentioned about road connectivity being improved. Well, we have today, we are in the process of acquiring land for an express highway, which was also mentioned, which is going to connect Delhi right through Punjab, right up to northwestern Punjab. So you get right through, you will be having a new 8-lane highway going through soon, and that will further improve our connectivity there. With the lowest share of cognizable crime amongst major industrialized states of India, Punjab is the safest place to do business. This is visible in the peaceful and cordial labor management relation that exists in the state. It has not witnessed any major strike or oblique lockouts in the last 3 decades. For 30 years, we have not had any labor trouble in the state. The state is also home to global renowned educational institutes like the IITs, Indian Institute of Technology, IIM, which is the Indian Institute of Management, ISB, AIMS, which is the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, and then Punjab Agriculture University, etc. There are many institutes which are coming up too, which serve as the foundation for providing skilled manpower that can adapt to working with new age industries. The state also possesses a good R&D ecosystem with various national institutes of repute, such as the Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, Indian Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Institute of Nanoscience and Technology, Google COE, CDAC, amongst others, which can further the adoption of new technologies across sectors. The Government of Punjab launched the Industrial and Business Development Policy in 2017 that provides attractive incentives such as reimbursement of GST on inter and intra-state sales, both employment subsidy with no domestic constraints, etc. Invest Punjab which our Chief Secretary has already mentioned, has been accredited as the top performing investment promotion agency by the Government of India with a 100% score in all parameters. Punjab is a land of enterprise and entrepreneurs. State is well known for its innovation and entrepreneurship spirit. Several CEOs of top multinational companies and Indian giants have their roots in Punjab. So the Punjab diaspora has spread all over the country. Given the presence of this investor-friendly ecosystem, the state has received investments worth over 1.2 trillion yen, which is about 80,000 crores in the last 4 years. These investments are from various sectors as diverse as agro and food processing, chemicals and petrochemicals, automobiles, textile, education, renewable energy, and light engineering. The potential areas of partnership, ladies and gentlemen, what we visualize is agro and agro processing is the first. Punjab is uniquely positioned to provide a prospective base and export hub for Japanese food companies. Second is textiles. Punjab, with presence of well-established value chain in textiles with abundant availability of skilled manpower, may be leveraged by Japanese companies for export-oriented contract manufacturing. Technical textile firms could collaborate with Punjabi companies through joint ventures. Pharmaceuticals next. Japan is one of the world's largest pharma industry. Punjab being an emerging pharmaceutical hub with an annual turnover of about 131 billion yen, would be an excellent destination for Japanese companies manufacturing pharma products. Healthcare. The Indian medical tourism market is growing at 18% per year and is expected to reach 987 billion by 2020. And Japanese healthcare players can set up hospitals in Medicity, which is here in Mohali, or engage in knowledge transfer. Engineering and technology. Punjab has an established ecosystem in the manufacturing sector with unmatched leadership in bicycles, tractors, machine tools, hand tools, precision engineering, etc. And skill development. State-based universities have Japan-specific academic program, including those for Japanese language courses. The two regions may engage in academic exchange for both industrial and language training. And then, of course, when you're here far from home, you want a bit of home there. Therefore, I said we should have a mini Japan in Punjab and a Japanese industrial township. Our Chief Secretary already mentioned this, that Punjab government has also proposed the establishment of a Japanese industrial township in Punjab at Patiala, which is not far from here, about an hour's drive from here, at Rajpura, which is on the main highway and also on the main rail link across an area of about 1,000 acres. So I hope that one day we shall be stopping to see you all there in a new township. Investment ties. The government of Punjab has announced a yen 241 billion stimulus package to help Japanese companies move production lines out of China. Given Punjab's availability of skilled manpower and a supportive policy environment, the region has the potential to become a preferred investment destination for Japanese investors. And I hope you will look at this. May I also add that the state welcomes you and does not favor protectionism in terms of employment quotas, like some people are doing. We believe we are Indians, and every Indian has a chance to move anywhere in the country, and particularly we would welcome them from any other state to come and work here. Technology is what we want, and if they are technologically sound, Punjab welcomes them. We would like everyone to contribute to making Punjab great. In the end, ladies and gentlemen, Japan is one of the focus countries for the government of Punjab to promote industrialization and trade and commerce. His Excellency, the Ambassador of Japan to India, in his maiden visit to Punjab, highlighted the immense opportunities of collaboration between Japanese and Punjab-based enterprises. Based on his suggestions, State has set up the Japanese desk at Invest Punjab for hand-holding Japanese investors looking at investing in the state of Punjab. Our government is undertaking significant efforts to foster the investment ecosystem of the state and create better employment and growth opportunities for its people. I am sanguine that we can work together for our mutual benefit and script a new chapter in Indo-Japanese cooperation. We welcome each one of you and even those who are not present here today to come to Punjab. Punjab is known across the world for its warmth and hospitality. Let me assure you that we will not let you down. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for this opportunity you have given me to speak to you all. We're thousands of miles away, but at least I am able to get my views across. And someday I hope this COVID will be over, and then we shall be able to come and meet you all in person. In the meantime, we look forward to having you here with us. And I hope that this meeting today is going to be very fruitful and take both our countries and our states, Japan and Punjab, forward in the right spirit. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Now we will have open forum for Q&A session. We would like to request participants to send the questions through Q&A box. ここから質疑応答、オープンハウスに移りたいと思います。ご質問がある方は、どの登壇者への質問かが分かるよう、質問したい登壇者名を記入の上、Q&A ボックスからご質問を送信ください。
It's 59 says so.
We got one question from Upkar Singh. The question is, number of industrial units in Punjab are looking for joint venture and tie-up with Japanese companies. It's easy for Japanese companies to set up in India with local partner. We want to know if there is any mechanism for matchmaking. This question is from Upkar Singh. If any panelists would like to answer this question, please kindly answer.
Yes, of course. I think we've already mentioned that we have an Invest Punjab, a company which promotes industry to come from anywhere in the world. And of course, for you, for Japan, we have a special desk for this. So that is a matchmaking for avenue that we have. And we are more than welcome to come to us. Our Invest Punjab is going to look after you, and you're going to put you together with other companies who are in your line and the line you wish to be. So if you want to contact them, you can contact them, and they can arrange your meetings and for you to come and visit them.
Thank you very much, sir. Is there any other questions? If you have any other questions, please send from Q&A box. Now we would like to move on to the next program. Next, I would like to request Ms. Mona Kandal, Minister, Economic and Commerce, Embassy of India, Tokyo, to give a concluding remarks of the inaugural session.
Honorable Chief Minister, His Excellency the Ambassador, Chief Secretary, Mr. Osamu Onodera-san and Mr. Kazayu Nakaju-san, with whom we work very closely. Good afternoon to all the delegates. So as the inaugural session of Indo-Japan Investment Symposium focused on investment opportunities in Punjab is coming to an end, we look forward to further enhanced collaboration between Japanese and Punjabi businesses in several sectors. So along with challenges, COVID-19 global pandemic has brought to the fore several vulnerabilities of over-concentration and over-dependence of global supply chain on a particular region. This is the opportunity for course correction and an important a stepping stone for Indo-Japan bilateral business cooperation. The present discussion on supply chain resilience globally is centered around realigning and diversifying suppliers base and adapting to the new normal. So Government of India has taken several measures to accelerate this process. Atmanirbhar Bharat envisages a big boost to manufacturing sector, and Government of India has announced product-linked incentive schemes for about 13 sunrise sectors, earmarking rupees 2.12 trillion. Now, this 13 sectors include SEC batteries, auto and auto components, electronics, products, networking, tele-networking equipments, agro processing, food processing, pharmaceutical products, and specialty steel, textiles, especially man-made fibers and technical textiles. So all these sectors where Punjab offers an additional strength, the Japanese investors and businesses are welcome. The share of manufacturing in GDP of India is estimated to increase to 25% by FY26 from current 17%. So these efforts are further supported by 1.4 trillion India Infra Pipeline, which offers more than 7,400 projects over 22 sectors over next 5 years. And I'm sure with that, all the connectivities to Punjab will be further enhanced and boosted. Asset monetization program for brownfield infrastructure and national logistics policy will be enhancing not only Make in India, but also export from India. The icing on cake is the unique human resources of India that are innovative, creative, young, and available at a reasonable cost. Punjab state has several added advantages to the policy and program of Government of India. Situated in northern region of India, Punjab state is one of the developed states and growth engines of India, offering opportunities in sectors like agro-processing, textiles, engineering, pharmaceuticals and medical devices, information technology, and ESDM. Sports equipment and state-of-the-art industrial townships set up in Punjab, and by extending several well-planned additional incentives to all these incentives are in addition to PLI schemes and other schemes of Government of India. So this incentives include employment subsidy, electricity duty exemption, exemption from stamp duty and other land-related charges, and incentives on inter and intra-state sales laid down in Punjab's Industrial and Business Development Policy of 2017. These incentives become all the more effective considering the skilled human resources and educated workforce of Punjab, which is also peaceful by nature. Punjab has taken several policy measures for promoting transparency and for promoting ease of doing business. It has set up Invest Punjab as a unified regulator for granting state-level approvals with a dedicated Japan desk. Statutory measures for timely and transparent disposal and resolution of applications, auto approval for green category industries, integrated construction permits, online and transparent land allotment, aided by GIS mapping, permission for 24-hour shift across industries and gender, are excellent oiling for the wheel of development in Punjab. With the presence of more than 100 Japanese establishments, Punjab is not new to Japan. Punjab state can be one of the important locations for supporting Indo-Japan industrial and digital collaboration through Japanese Industrial Township, Japan-India Institute for Manufacturing, and Japan-endowed courses, technoparks, and design and research and development centers. Punjab has a good understanding and sensitivity for Japanese culture. From Embassy of India, we will be happy to extend all the support for furthering Japan's relations with Punjab and India. And I'm also happy to add that in the month of May, we are likely to set up a platform for business matchmaking between Japan and India, including Punjab. So that will be an additional support that we will be extending. With that, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Chief Minister of Punjab, His Excellency the Ambassador, the Chief Secretary of Punjab, Mr. Osamu Onodera-san and Mr. Nakaju-san. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad. Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you once again. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Madam. Now, we are behind the schedule, so we would like to continue to the next session. We will start the session on opportunities in Punjab. First, I would like to request Mr. Alok Shekhar, Principal Secretary, Department of Investment Promotion, Government of Punjab, to give our opening remarks and context setting.
And thank you and good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to be part of this event. We had a very successful inaugural session earlier today, and I am particularly enthused by the encouraging participation from the Japanese companies. This would not have been possible without all the support and facilitation provided by the Indian Embassy in Tokyo, and my gratitude and appreciation to all those who have been involved in organizing this event. The enthusiasm of the Japanese industry is also a testimony of the strong political and economic ties between the two sides, as has been spoken earlier by all the speakers. Japan and India share a common global vision of peace, stability, and sustainable development. Economic relations between India and Japan have only become stronger over the years and has tremendous potential to grow even further, given the complementarities that exist between the two countries. The state of Punjab, which as many of you would know, and as was spoken earlier, is a small province in the northwest of the country, but it is home to almost 100 Japanese business establishments. Major companies from Japan who have invested in the state include Isuzu, Yanmar, Kansai, Nerolac, Topan, Koyo, Aichi Steel, etc. In fact, Isuzu had started its unit for large commercial vehicles way back in 1985, and it has been successfully running its operation for last almost 35 years. The Honorable Chief Minister and the Chief Secretary have given an overview of the industrial landscape in Punjab, and my colleague would later be talking about the advantages of Punjab and the opportunity it has to offer in greater detail. So I would just like to touch upon the interactions that the two sides had at the government level, where regular efforts have been made in the past to deepen our economic ties. The former ambassador of Japan, His Excellency Mr. Kenji Hiramatsu, had met Punjab government officials on multiple occasions in Delhi and in Chandigarh, which is the capital of Punjab. He also visited Punjab in June 2019 and met the Chief Minister to discuss business opportunities between Punjab and Japan. Further, a delegation led by the current Japanese ambassador to India, His Excellency Mr. Satoshi Suzuki, attended the Progressive Punjab Investor Summit in December 2019. The ambassador was also the keynote speaker at the summit, where a special country session on Japan was also held. The state government has also been working with the Japan External Trade Organization, JETRO, a Japanese government-related organization for multiple objectives, including potential establishment of Japanese industrial township that Honorable Chief Minister had spoken about earlier, and a Center of Excellence in Artificial Intelligence in Punjab. Invest Punjab has also partnered with JETRO for organizing country-specific aftercare sessions for Japanese companies in Punjab in 2019 and during the COVID in 2020. On the suggestions of Ambassador of Japan to India, a Japan desk was established at Invest Punjab to facilitate Japanese investors looking to invest in the state. Invest Punjab, as some of would know, and what was spoken about earlier, is also a unique single window that clears all the investment proposals in the state of Punjab. So in the end, on behalf of the state of Punjab, I would like to welcome the Japanese companies to come and explore Punjab as an investment destination. On behalf of the state government of Punjab, I would once again like to assure you of a very receptive administration in the state, which is committed to ensuring ease of doing business at the highest level. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Next, I would like to request Mr. Rajat Agarwal, CEO, Investment Punjab, Government of Punjab, to give a presentation on Punjab.
Japan, a great country. The cooperation and collaboration between Japan and India is an all-time high, and so is between Punjab and Japan. The kind of intense collaboration and sustained efforts that have been made on both the sides under the leadership of Ambassador of Japan to India and the Chief Minister Punjab have been instrumental in some very good gains in the last 4 years on both sides. My responsibility is to introduce you to the state of Punjab, the great state of Punjab, to all of you. A lot has already been said, and I would try to be brief and bring out points which have not been said earlier. Next slide, please. As has been already said, we are in the northwest direction of the country, and we are very close to the national capital of Delhi. We are a small state geographically, but highly productive with just 1.5% land area. We are leaders in very many sectors. Yes, we are the granary for the country, but also there are various industrial accolades to this state. We are leaders in agri-machinery. We house the world's biggest tractor manufacturing plant under one roof. We are very proud of the fact that that plant is a joint venture between a Japanese company, Yanmar, and an Indian partner, the International Tractors. We are leaders in manufacture of bicycles and bicycle parts. This small state, I just request you all to keep in mind the 1.5% land mass of this country, and we are producing over 90% of the bicycle components which are produced in this country. We are also leaders in textile, again a small state, but we produce more than 2/3, more than 66% of the hosiery which is manufactured in the state. Rather, we are almost manufacturing the entire woolen hosiery. Almost 95% of the total production of the country comes from this 1.5% land mass. And there are many other sectors. There are many technological achievements that this state can boast of and wants to tread regularly on the path. Next slide, please. Any investment decision will have to consider the various factors of production. I think it is very, very important to see how the various factors of production are available in the state. Power, electricity is one of the most important component, especially technology-rich new industry with huge economies of scale have huge requirement of power. I am very happy to share that we have one of the best power availability in terms of quantity. We are power surplus. In terms of quality, distribution network is state of art. Very few states in the country have that kind of a distribution network, and the quality power is available at very, very competitive rates. And this is a special dispensation by the government of Punjab given to industry across the board for reducing their cost of production. Second is workforce, again something which we are extremely proud of. We are a very liberal state in terms of our policy. The labor in the state is very flexible, hiring policies and rules and laws, 24/7 shift across all genders, very, very peaceful labor. There is no record of any labor problem in the last over 3 to 4 decades. And this is not something which I would like to claim more and more. And I would encourage all the prospective investors to take this feedback from the Japanese companies who are there in the state and companies from various other nationalities and from within Punjab and from within India. I think this is a feedback which you will get across all the industries, whether coming from within Punjab or from outside. Logistics again has been mentioned. We are very good logistics network in the state. We are ranked second in ease of logistics. In terms of tele-density also, we are ranked second. We are very fairly well connected, whether it is the physical infrastructure of road, but also more importantly in today's time, the tele-density and the net density. The entire state is connected to 4G connectivity across the state, and we are very keenly looking forward to the 5G connectivity coming to the country and to the state. Next slide, please. The Japanese footprint in Punjab, as you can see, the different companies who are there. What I would like to draw your attention towards is the fact that the companies from Japan are existing, are situated all across the state. So all the different parts of the state which are specializing in different products are having Japanese establishments, Japanese companies, and all of them are working with equal ease and equal efficiency. It shows the character of the state, the general environment, the general business environment prevailing all across. So it is not only a small speck in the state where some good thing is happening. The entire state has that culture of goodness, has that culture of welcoming people, welcoming industries from outside and working well. Next slide, please. The various sectors. Now, what are the sectors where there is huge potential for Japanese companies to come in the state of Punjab? Yes, we are leaders in agro and food processing, and this is one of the very important areas. And when I talk about agri and food processing, the opportunities that are existing are very varied. So it is not only about the cereals or grains. The opportunities exist in dairy processing, fruit and vegetable processing. Meat processing is a very, very big area. We are exporting meat to many countries. Beverages and malt, again, is an area. Packaging technology is something that can be looked at, especially from the Japanese point of view. And cold chain and logistics, with such huge agri-produce and agri-processing going on in the state, I think cold chain and logistics is another area where the huge opportunities are existing. MNCs from all across the continents are there in the food sector in Punjab, and it is just a missed opportunity as to why a European company is here, why a US company is here, and why a Japanese giant is yet not set its foot in the food sector is something which shows that there is immense potential in the food processing sector in the state. Next slide, textiles. So as I mentioned, we are leaders in textile. We are one of the very few geographies in the country which have a complete value chain for textile, right from cultivation of cotton to yarn to cloth to apparels to technical textile. The entire value chain is existing here. And there is huge opportunity in technical textile and in sportswear. I think that is one area which is a subset of technical textiles, I'm sure, but a special mention for sports area because Punjab is also leader in sports. Almost 3/4 of the total sports goods manufactured in the country are manufactured here from Punjab. And thus there is huge potential in textiles also to come into sports. as well as in various different technical textiles, fitness machines and equipments, home textiles, non-leather footwear is another area, high-value garments is another area. So I think textile again is a sector which we will be very important, whether in terms of direct investment or maybe in terms of testing the waters through contract manufacturing or job work manufacturing from units existing within Punjab. Next slide, please. Engineering is again something very important, and that is what brings Punjab and Japan very close. Normally it is said that the Punjabi people, the people born out of Punjab, have a natural engineering skill set in their DNA. That is how we are described. And you know, this has been a feedback from very many engineering companies that most of the people on the supervision on the shop floor across the country are in the engineering goods manufacturing are from Punjab. I mean, this is something very distinctly which comes out in our feedback, in our interaction. But I can tell you that Punjab and Punjabis have great engineering, precision engineering skills. And it turns out why we are the highest producers of hand tools and machine tools and sewing machines and bicycles, forging equipments, specialized steel for that matter, auto components, anti-vibration equipments, and so on so forth. The kind of precision that we are talking about today is something, so the precision steel, the specialized steel that is being manufactured with 1 ppm error margin finds its place in the value chain of Tesla today. Entire models and assembly lines of certain Ford and Mercedes models are dependent on components which are manufactured out of Punjab in the entire globe. So if a plant is to manufacture goods in Tokyo, in New York, in New Jersey, in Germany, in Europe, in UK, it is dependent on products which are being manufactured out of Punjab. It shows the operational efficiency of Punjab-based industries. It shows the environment which is absolutely disruption-free and provides for just in sequence manufacturing practices being employed in the state. We have come up with a special parks, high-tech valley, which has come up in Ludhiana, fully operational, plug and play, and huge opportunities in 3 more parks which are coming in Rajpura, Bhatinda, and Ludhiana for various different components, including engineering. Pharma and medical devices is another sector, I think, which we are very, very strong and which has a huge potential, especially the medical devices thing. Huge opportunities exist in bulk drugs, in APIs, in specialty chemicals, lifestyle formulations, high-tech medical devices. We are coming up with a specified medical device park and a pharma park in the state with very, very lucrative incentives. Already the land has been identified, and by and large the paper formalities have been done, and the physical development is going to start very soon. We have various MNCs in pharma sector already present in the state of Punjab. We have the largest manufacturers of ibuprofen, the US trademark, and most of the industries, pharma industry, which are existing in Punjab are US FDA and EU approved. So I think this is something which is very important, that the quality of products that are being manufactured out of Punjab are amongst the best in the world, and they are being exported to the most advanced nations with the best systems, testing systems. The major export destination are US, Canada, Japan, and UK. So you can well imagine the nature of quality that is coming up from it. Next sector is IT and ESDM. Again, a very good ecosystem, especially in terms of ESDM. Electronic devices is something which we are putting a lot of emphasis upon. Punjab is the only state in the country which has a fully functional semiconductor wafer lab. I think this is again an opportunity, huge opportunity and potential to come up for ASIC designing, for R&D labs and tools and chip manufacturing. Animation, 3D gaming, digital entertainment, data centers are other fields which offer a lot of potential for companies. No doubt auto components and auto manufacturing is again a key here. Next slide, please. State-of-art industrial township. I can only assure you that we have a complete plug-and-play manufacturing sites available here. We just need to understand the size of land that is required and the location that is required. And we will do all the legwork, and the government will be able to offer you land in a very transparent and a very quick mode from the various facilities existing. Unmatched incentives, of course, this is one of the very important, bottom line plays a very important role. We will be very happy to sit with the finance team of any prospective investors. We have a team here and we would like to sit with you. The incentives that we are providing, fiscal incentives from the state of Punjab, cannot be matched by any other state. And we are very confident of the way we have structured them. And I'm sure that the closer you will look at these incentives, the more you will be happy about the fact that they are actually something which turns into hard money and hard cash at the end of the day. And long incentive available, domicile, absolutely no domicile restrictions. You employ people across the board from the country or outside, and yet all the incentives are going to be available to you all. One of the important components is how to enter the market in Punjab. We are here, we are one-stop office and a truly one-stop office. We have been rated the best in the country on all parameters, but that's not what keeps us happy and makes us callous. We like to be tested, we would want to be tested, and I can assure you on behalf of my team here that we have a special Japan desk. Japan is a very high focus country. The investors from Japan are extremely valued. The numerous interactions right at CM's level are testimony to the fact that of huge importance to ease of doing business, business facilitation, and especially Japan business facilitation is given in the state of Punjab. And we look forward to facilitate you, to assist you through our single window office. It's a complete dedicated relationship officer model where one officer will be allocated to an investor. The investor need not go to any other person, any other department, any other bureaucrat, any other political person in the entire hierarchy of the state of Punjab. This is the Government of India ranking, way above the average of the country, thanks to the sustainable efforts and feedback from all the different investors. They keep us on toes, they keep us telling about the new things, they keep demanding from us, and that keeps us in getting better and better day after day. With great ecosystem, with great potential sectors, and all the sectors that I mentioned, Government of India has provided a very good production-linked incentive scheme. And those incentives are over and above the incentives that the state government is providing. So there is a single window system, a truly facilitation office. There is ecosystem, there is potential, there is existence of Japan-based companies who are running their operations very easily and successfully from many decades now. What's more is that this is a happy state. The ecosystem is good. It's a crime-free place. It's a place in the foothills of Himalayas. It's a place with clean air. It's a place with good water resources, good education, good health facilities. It's a place with ease of living. And that is why we have been ranked second in the India Happiness Report, which is a latest report of 2020. It is a state which has been ranked very high on governance and political stability. We were third. We are 30 states in this country. We are third amongst them. We are the lowest. We have the lowest rate of cognizable crime in the country, in all the major industrial states. We have a little bit of Japanese cuisine here, and good one. I mean, it has been ranked well by our Japanese expats living here, but we want to have more. And the more we see you coming here and setting your business here, the more we see all these things getting exponentially coming in more. Now, some testimonies, whatever I say, whatever I claim, please don't go by that. This is His Excellency, Mr. Satoshi Suzuki, Mr. Murahashi, Mr. Taguchi, who have visited the place, who have experienced the place, who have interacted with the people who have been in Punjab for some time. And I encourage all of you to please look at Punjab for establishing your businesses. We are very keen to have you here, and we will go all out to see that your journey in Punjab is facilitated, not only in setting up of business, but also in running of business and also in your expansion in the state of Punjab. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Next, Japanese companies operating in Punjab will share their experience. 続きまして、パンジャブ州に拠点のある日本企業より事例を紹介いただきます。はじめに、SML イスズインディアリミテッド社長、橋本優吾様、よろしくお願いいたします。
Hi, thank you very much for the introduction. My name is Yugo Hashimoto, currently the MD and CEO of SML Isuzu Limited. It is a great pleasure and also great honor for me to be in this symposium now. I'd like to explain first of all the outline of the company SML Isuzu Limited, and then also I'd like to share the experience working in the Punjab. Our company name is the SML Isuzu Limited, and then head office and then plant is located in the Punjab state, and then corporate office is in Chandigarh. Our business is the manufacturing and then sales of truck and then buses. Products lineup is the cargo truck, school and then staff buses, ambulances, tippers, this is a dump truck, and then refurb and so on. Our company was established in 1983, and then mass production was started 1985. So we have the 35 years old, more than 35 years experience working in the Punjab. And then our main shareholders, especially the promoter company, is the Sumitomo Corporation, which is the trading house in Japan, and then Isuzu Motors, the other number two, the shareholders. And other than that, we have the 35,000 the shareholders, listed in the BSE and then NSE currently. The number of the employees are the 2,200 at this moment. Around, it depends upon the level of the productions. Unfortunately, at this moment, because of the influence from the COVID-19, our production level is very low. But normally, we are selling the 12,000 to the 15,000 the bus and trucks annually. Then I'd like to explain our experience in Punjab. As I said, the first point I'd like to stress on is the quality of the human resources in Punjab. Definitely, I acknowledge that there are abundant the talented persons available in various industry fields. So as far as we experience that we can find any kind of the talented people in Punjab Of course, we can also invite the people from other states, the pan-India base. So I appreciate this the circumstances we are working. And also I'd like to explain the one thing is that the long-term good relationship between the union and the management, over the 35 years the experience, there was no the strike happened in the plant. Always we can we could maintain the good relationship with trust each other, and then for the company we can work together as the one team. This is the very excellent example of our experience in Punjab. And then second point is the existing industrial ecosystem in Punjab. Obviously, there are various leading companies. They are located in Punjab in the very variety of the field. For example, manufacturing, agriculture, sales, marketing, and then consulting, and then laboratories and so on. And then we are purchasing the components mainly from all over the India. But 1/3 of our components and the materials we are buying from the Punjab suppliers. And then third point I'd like to stress on is the ease of doing business in Punjab. Always we are receiving the cordial support from the Punjab government, and then whatever we need, we discuss and then get advice from the Punjab the state government. That is really trustful and then important aspect for us to work in Punjab. And also high quality medical support, especially currently we are facing the difficulties because of the COVID-19, but all over the big hospitals and then the medical institute in the Punjab are supporting us. And then recently we arranged with the support of the Punjab state, the COVID-19 vaccination camp in our the plant. So the more than 100 people got the vaccination in the one place in one day. So these kind of the vaccination camp under the preparation for another occasions. And also top class educational institutions they are there. The already explained in the past presentations, but I appreciate the private state universities and the institutions, medical the educational institutions and the IITs. We can find the very high class, the well-educated, the talented people in the Punjab. That is the good advantage for us working in Punjab. And then finally, I'm thinking that there are the big potential of growth for a Japanese company in Punjab. So after the COVID-19, we have to think of the new normal. Then definitely this changes, the bigger the changes happens, and then we can see the good big chance, especially in Punjab. Not only a government, but all kind of consultants, the think tanks, the educational institutions, they are offering the many kind of the method to find out the new business after the COVID-19, and then this one we can utilize. And then on top of that one, I'm thinking that the Punjab is a very unique as the origin of the Jugaad, the philosophy. I'm not the expert of the Jugaad philosophy, but one of the most attractive things for me is that the way of thinking is that the innovation with the wisdom and then flexibility and then challenge spirit. I'm always feeling this one, working with my colleague in my company in Punjab. So the spirit, with this spirit, we can the challenge to the changes and then to find out the new business chances in Japan, in the Punjab. That is my the experience I'd like to share today. Thank you very much.
橋本様、ありがとうございました。続きまして、ヤンマーインディアプライベートリミテッド社長、安食勝則様より、事例をご紹介いただきます。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
I share my presentation. Yes. Yeah. Hello, I'm Ajiki from Myanmar, India. Thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to share our experience with local partner in India. So we Myanmar is diesel engine manufacturer. Based on diesel engine technology, we are extending our business from engine to agriculture, marine, energy system, construction business, and component. When we look at India, we are working in various fields. These are our office and factory location. And these are our group company and joint ventures, especially in Punjab. We have tied up with Sonalika since 2005. Sonalika is third largest tractor manufacturer in India. We are making our own brand tractor at Sonalika and exporting this tractor to global market. There are enough stable workers and many cost competitive suppliers in Punjab. So we are considering India as our global supply hub of tractors. For supporting our activity in India, we are sending more than 10 Japanese experts to Hoshapur. Thanks to support from our local partners, Sonalika, we have these kind of guest house in Hoshapur, where Japanese food can be served. So our Japanese expat can do Japanese style lifestyle even in Punjab. So we are considering to further increase our Japanese expat in line with our business expansion. At the end of my presentation, we hope we could be a good example of Indo-Japan collaboration. Thank you very much indeed, Daniela.
安食様、ありがとうございました。Next, I would like to request Ms. Priya Rawat, Vice President, Invest India, to give a presentation on strengthening bilateral relations.
Thank you, Natsumi-san. Konnichiwa to all attending from India and Japan. Honorable Chief Minister, Excellency Ambassador Mr. Sanjay Kumar Varma, Osamu Onodara-san, Nakajo-san, Ms. Mona, and all the officials from Government of Punjab. It has been a really power-packed session today, and I'd like to congratulate Invest Punjab for successfully organizing this investment symposium today. It is a great initiative and it comes at the right time. Why I say it is the right time? Because a new India is emerging. And when globally the world saw a 40% decline in FDI last year, India saw a 13% increase in foreign investment. And today we invite you to be a part of this India growth story. India and Japan share a very special bond. The two countries have pledged to deepen their ties not just in the investment and the trade sector, but also in healthcare, defense, security, and food. And the Japanese company, as was highlighted by many speakers before me, they enjoy a special reputation in India. Their brands are valued, and in turn the Japanese investors have also ranked India as one of the most preferred destination for investment. 1,454 Japanese companies have invested $34 billion in India, making Japan the 5th largest investor in the country. And the two countries have also been seeing very long-lasting relationships. In fact, they are more than a century old. And these are unprecedented times, as we all know, but these times have brought the two countries even closer. In November of last year, the two countries joined hands to diversify their supply chain in the Indo-Pacific region. In 2019, together we had launched the India-Japan Industrial Competitiveness Partnership, where the two governments will be working very closely towards enhancing India's industrial competitiveness, lowering the cost of logistics for the companies, and facilitating smooth government processes. Japan provided one of the largest economic stimulus during COVID, and it included that for supporting its companies to diversify their supply chain out of China. And it has also included India as one of the countries that it wants companies to go to. And why not? We are 1.3 billion right now, and by 2025, we will be 1.5 billion. The largest single market in any country. 1 billion of us will be under 35, and the average age of the population will be 29 years. That means we'll not only be the largest, but we will also be the youngest nation, and that too for at least 80 to 100 years. Last year during COVID, from 0 to 500,000 PPE kits in a day, it took us just 60 days to become the second largest PPE kit manufacturer in the world. And these kits were also exported to many countries. And the same goes for ventilators and masks. We went into a lockdown in March 2020, but the market was fast to bounce back. By June, 90% of e-commerce activities resumed. And in fact, by July, they surpassed the pre-COVID levels. And there were a number of initiatives and support that were announced by the government. And one of the things that the government has done is to ease out the process to do business in India. These are the sectors where you see opportunities for investments, and by 2025 there is 5 trillion worth of opportunities available. Each and every sector that is listed here has been made easier to do business in. And one of the biggest things that the government has done is to convert this entire situation into an opportunity by bringing a large number of reforms. You will be also seeing some more reforms being announced soon. We jumped 79 places on the World Bank's ease of doing business in the last 5 years. Central and the state governments have been working together and have brought more than 15,000 policy reforms to have that rank moving. This is also supported by JETRO's survey of last year, which suggests India fares well as compared to our neighboring countries. Now, R&D is something that the companies have been keeping closer to the home country, and but now what we are seeing is that India is proving to be one of the most favored destination for the for R&D centers outside of the head office of the country. 1,140 multinationals have set up their R&D centers in India. Last year itself, at least 10 largest business conglomerates, they from countries including Japan, Korea, Singapore, have set up R&D in IoT, AI, and data analytics. A lot of Japanese companies also made announcements like Sony, NEC. And some of the other reforms that we've brought in are in terms of improving the logistics and the cost of doing business. And, with the reduction of corporate tax, we are now we now have one of the lowest tax rates amongst our peer countries. Last year, two high-powered committees mechanisms were set up. One is the empowered group of secretaries, and the other is the project development cell. Empowered group is headed by the senior most official, the cabinet secretary in the country, and will also include Niti Aayog, secretaries of DPIIT, Commerce and Revenue. And this group has been set up to ensure timely clearances of projects and to ensure there is policy stability and consistency in the overall investment environment. Now, the second one, project development cells have been set up in 25 ministries and departments of the Government of India for attracting investment projects. Each ministry will be responsible for creating projects with all approvals and land available for allocation, and also in a lot of the cases with a complete detailed project report for the investors to consider. In order to also boost the domestic manufacturing, the Government of India has introduced production-linked incentives, the PLIs, this year, and we also added 10 more sectors to this. And as you see, these are also the focus sectors of Punjab: auto, food processing, pharma, textiles, and electronics. Additionally, to focus on the infrastructure, the government has released the National Infrastructure Pipeline, which plans an investment of about 1.8 trillion. And this essentially is for the upgradation of the industrial infrastructure, and schemes will be implemented for in the states for industrial cluster, focused on the infrastructure facilities and improving the connectivity. This national infrastructure pipeline will be hosted on India Investment Grid, which is the only Government of India platform that lists all government and private projects on. We all know what disruption COVID has been, but this entire disruption has brought in a lot of opportunities, especially where India is concerned, and hence we have set up a national agency, National Investment Promotion Agency, Invest India, to support your businesses. If you know, in 2014, PM Modi and PM Abe had directed to set up a dedicated desk to handhold Japanese companies in India. It is called the Japan Plus desk. It has been set up at Invest India, and it will provide you all the support that you need for your businesses, right from the time when you start thinking of investing in India to handholding you during the entire journey, and even after, to help you with any issue that you face. Japan Plus team has been working with Japanese companies and with JETRO, JCCII, Embassy of Japan in India, on facilitating issues of Japanese companies. And during COVID last year, what the team had been really working closely with the companies facing COVID-related issues with respect to logistics, or getting their businesses back to normal. And we were in touch with more than 150 Japanese companies. We in fact received more than 9,000 queries, including those from Japanese companies. The average resolution time of 94% queries was 6 hours, and we continue to offer that support to companies. And this is the team that has been working with you. If you'd like to connect with us, let us know, and we assure you of our support, and we'll continue supporting your business in India. On behalf of Invest India, my team, Japan Plus, I look forward to welcoming you to India, to Japan. Thank you so much. Arigato gozaimasu.
Thank you very much, madam. Now, we will have open house for Q&A session. We would like to request participants to send questions through Q&A box. Please type question in the Q&A box and submit. Also, please indicate the name of the panelist to whom the question is directed. Both English and Japanese are fine. ここから質疑応答オープンハウスに移りたいと思います。ご質問がある方は、どの登壇者への質問かがわかるよう、質問したい登壇者名をご記入の上、Q&A ボックスから質問をお送りください。日本語でも英語でも構いません。ご質問はございませんでしょうか？ Any questions? If there's no question, we would like to move on to the next program.
I think there are two questions here, and I would like to respond to them.
Yes, sir.
One question is from Atsuya Aoke. It is regarding, is there highway from Delhi airport to Ludhiana? If they have, how many hours does it take? Yes, there is a highway which is connecting Delhi airport to Ludhiana, and it takes roughly, if it is by small passenger vehicle, it will take around 4.5 hours to 5 hours. If it is by a commercial vehicle, a truck or something, it takes anywhere between 6 to 8 hours, depending upon the size of the truck and the traffic on that day. Second question is again on which industrial park is nearest from Delhi airport in Punjab. So the nearest airport in Punjab is in Patiala district, the nearest one. And also Ludhiana, Patiala are again, and Bhatinda. All three are very closely related, not too much of a difference. So the closest is Patiala district and Bhatinda, equidistant from two different routes. And Ludhiana is again 70-80 kilometers north of Patiala district.
Thank you very much, sir. Is there any other question?もし他にもご質問がございましたら、後ほど、インド大使館の方にもご質問をお送りください。If you have any other questions, you can send email to Embassy of India, Tokyo as well. Next, I would like to request Ms. Isha Karia, CEO, Invest Punjab, Government of Punjab, to give a concluding remarks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Government of Punjab, I extend my heartiest gratitude to all of you for attending today's Indo-Japan Investment Symposium. It has been a great exchange of ideas, and I'm hopeful that this platform has been helpful for Japanese companies in understanding the investment opportunities in Punjab. I would like to thank His Excellency Mr. Sanjay Kumar Varma, Ambassador, Embassy of India, Tokyo, and Ms. Mona Kandhar, Minister, Economic and Commerce, Embassy of India, Tokyo, and the entire team of the Embassy for their continued support in enhancing the relations between Japan and Punjab. We hope more such events would be held in near future. I express my deep gratitude to Mr. Osama Onodera, Deputy Director General for Trade Policy, Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, Government of Japan, Mr. Kazuo Nakazo, Executive Vice President JETRO, and Invest India for lending their presence to the session and adding their valuable expertise to the conversation. I would further like to acknowledge the presence of Punjab-based Japanese industries represented here by Mr. Yugo Hashimoto, MD SML Isuzu India, and Mr. Kanuzori Aziki, MD Yanmar, for sharing their experience of operating in Punjab. It is due to the enterprising nature of such investors that Punjab is able to continue reaching new heights. I would like to thank Japanese companies that spare their valuable time to attend the session and have shown interest in investing in the state. Government of Punjab is ready to extend its full support to Japanese companies looking at Punjab as a potential investment destination. Punjab has a huge potential to become a preferred investment destination for Japan, given its robust industrial ecosystem. So I welcome you all to invest in the best. Come invest in Punjab. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Madam. Now we will conclude Indo-Japan Investment Symposium, Investment Opportunities in the State of Punjab. We appreciate all the participants and panelists from Punjab, India, and Japan to share your time with us. Thank you very much. 以上をもちまして、日印投資シンポジウム、パンジャブ州における投資機会を終了とさせていただきます。参加者の皆様、登壇者の皆様、本日はご参加いただきまして誠にありがとうございました。